right, so we're going to bring Trey up here first to preach here in a second. But first, we want to tell a couple stories about him this week. You know, it's only fair that we get this last opportunity to kind of rib him a little bit before we send him on the plane back to Pittsburgh. So Greg's got some pictures and some stories he wants to tell about life on the farm, I think. All right?
Kind of. You know, it's been a privilege to have him run around my house over the last 3 or 4 days. I think he's going to Texas, back to Texas, maybe just to touch wood. Great. Use the microphone. Use the microphone. Yeah. Hi, wow. There's words in my life.
That's for the video.
I'm sure my mother will want to hear this.
The mother will want to hear this. Okay, all right, I can do this. Turn it on.
Yeah, tap that button on.
All right. Woo! Now you're cooking with gas. Light the tires and kick the fires. We'll get to that. It's been a privilege to have Trey hanging around my house over the last couple of days. And I think he has rejuvenated me. We were up to like 2:30 in the morning last night talking and sharing, and it was just a really great time. And I think we have switched places somewhere along the line, because the 60-year-old guy come in here and is wound up, and when I walked through the door in there a little while ago, he says, "We're going to bed tonight." So I think I got him. I ain't real sure, but I think I got him. But one of the things that I've learned as I've spent time with him about what kind of what quality of an individual that he is, this is a fine young man, and it's been a privilege to host him and have him here in Cameron to share with us. And he's a very industrious young man. And he has had multiple jobs while he's working his way through college. And if you could hear all the stories, you would not imagine the things that this young man has accomplished in his life. But one of the things I want to share with you is some of his family here. So we got a picture of his family here. And if you look at the picture here, the lady on the left is his mother, named Mary, and then Trey. And then his lovely wife, Julia, and his sister, Mackenzie. Got to help me there every now and then. But I want you to look at that family right there. You talk about a beautiful family. And as he spent time on the farm, he's had the opportunity to engage in some farming activities. The first day he was there, I gave him a shovel and introduced him to pig manure. He accomplished that task with vim and vigor, and I will say that he passed that test very well. He has also done a lot of things on the farm: ground feed, put out hay. He's come here for a rest. He didn't get that. But at any rate, one of the things that he did do, he shared with me that his mother's birthday was on Tuesday, I believe. And in honor of his mother and his mother's birthday, we were checking calves, and we have a new calf on the farm, and we have named that calf Mary in honor of his mother. So there will be a lasting Texas legacy living on Ebony Hill for a while. But then, more importantly, because he does have wisdom beyond his years, he says, my wife has to have a calf named after her too. That was wisdom beyond his years, okay? And we picked out a calf to name after Julia. And do we have a picture of the calf that we're going to name after Julia? And the reason we picked this calf to name after Julia, because that calf is very unique on my farm. My farm is called Ebony Hill, Black Hill if you would, and this light-colored, white-faced calf is named Julia because she stands out, just like Julia stands out in Trey's life. And we named that calf, and I thought, man, that's the end of the story. You got the other picture of the cow? And it didn't dawn on me until I come into this room. The calf's name is Julia. The cow's name is Gracie. is there a more appropriate name for a calf named after a pastor than Gracie? I think it's a sign, Trey. I'm not real sure. But I just want to ask one question to the crowd here. How many of you would welcome Trey back to this church sometime in the future? Okay, I think that's almost unanimous consent. So, Pastor Mike, would you carry on?
Absolutely. Thank you.
May I add one thing to what Greg said about Trey? My mother had the question for him, how did you know? Okay. I want to add one thing to what Greg shared with you about Trey. My mother wanted the question answered, when and how did you know that God wanted you to go to seminary and become a pastor? And he said, kids, listen to this. God told him that when he was in 6th grade.
All right, well, before we bring Trey up, there's one other little small business thing that we have to take care of. You know, we are a come as you are church. And I have embraced that rule, that idea, that mentality, that we take anybody exactly as they are and we welcome them in this church. But there has to be a line. For 2 nights, someone has been in this pulpit wearing a Texas A&M shirt. And I'm sorry, but we have to draw a line. So we chipped in, Trey, and we got you a Cameron, West Virginia. And if you can't read it, it says Heritage, Home, and Family in West Virginia. And I thought that was very appropriate to give him tonight. So we would be honored if you would preach in this tonight. We'll give him. Yep. We thought of you when we saw it. You're welcome.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
It might be a little too cold for him outside.
Also, we haven't announced this to everyone. We'll just go ahead and tell you now while he's changing. One of the things about seminary is wonderful. It trains pastors very well in terms of preaching and praying and things like that. But one of the things they don't teach you is baptisms, weddings, and funerals. And I've always wondered, why don't they teach that? So we have an opportunity tonight. We have a lady who's getting baptized tonight. And I asked Trey if he would like to do that get some experience, and he was very tickled to do that. So right after he's done preaching, Trey is going to get ready, and he will be baptizing Our Lady tonight and testing the water. So I asked Mike to make it as cold as possible. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, we've wrestled all week with it being too hot, and I think he's going to enjoy it. That'll be the first time he's warm all week. There it is. Yeah. All right, so Trey's getting wired back. I'm working on it. So no, Trey is going to get to do the baptism tonight. I know he's very excited about it. But you're in good hands, Hannah. It'll be just fine. All right.
In 20 plus years from now, you can say when he's on, like Billy Graham on TV, that man, I was his first baptist.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Have one request before
Yes,
I want to thank Peyton for singing tonight.
absolutely.
And I want to encourage any of the kids that ever want to sing or read a poem or read a scripture or share any way that God is working in their lives with the rest of us, we would love to hear it.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Yeah, to back that up, one of the other rules, tenets that we have here in this church is we don't treat children as the church of tomorrow. We know they're the church of today. They are active and vital members of our church, and we rely on them for our worship experience. Trey, are you mic'd up, ready to go? All right, he's coming up here in that beautiful shirt.